and then we'll get started. Okay, welcome to the webinar, everybody. This is Harish Swaminathan from OptionTiger.com. What you're looking at is the title slide for the proprietary day trading signal service. This is a new service as of now, but I used to run the service a few years ago, and then I had to move somewhere, and the timings just didn't work out. So regardless, now we are back. It's been a good service while it was running, and in fact, many people have asked me when or if I'm going to start it again. So I've decided to start it again. So let's jump in. Before I jump into the service overview, I just want to go to the platform and just show what it is. So here we are. We are looking at the Think or Swim platform, and what you can see is the pre-market. And of course, in this day trading signal service, we are going to be using our proprietary indicators. So what you see at the bottom, all these dots, is the multi-time frame trend indicator. So some of you may know about this. And then just above that, we have the custom RSI. And we'll also include the ticks, the SPX ticks. The SPX ticks is particularly useful for trading, intraday trading, the SPX or the SPY. And we will use that also because SPX and SPY should be decent day trading opportunities. As you can see in the pre-market, the markets went down, and just about 45 minutes ago, it made a nice move, and then you're getting these indicators lining up. You can see the bottom line lines up first, which is the lowest time frame, which is 1 minute. The next row is the 3 minutes. Next row is the 5 minutes. After that is the 10 minutes, and then the 15 minutes. So once you see two or three lining up, it's time to go into the trade. So somewhere around here, we would have gotten into the trade, and this would have been a lovely day trade. Of course, this was in the pre-market, and of course, we'll see these opportunities in the real market once the market opens as well. Now, as you can see on the left hand, I have a watch list. It's not a very big watch list. I might include some more tickers there. But you can see Microsoft, Qualcomm, Coinbase, Amazon, they're all showing very bullish at one of these stocks. Yeah, sure enough, Amazon also mimicked the action of the ES futures. Let's see Microsoft, sure enough, that is also there. So we will get some kind of an indication in the pre-market as to what stocks are going to move. So that's the good part. And then of course you have Tesla also as bullish now. Here you can see futures are up. Actually, the Nasdaq futures are up. The ES futures, the S&P futures are just about flat to slightly negative. So it's one of those kind of days. But usually we've been having futures either going up nicely or it's down also. Yesterday was a big down day. I think yields are increasing based upon the U.S. government debt got downgraded by Moody's, and so so there's a little bit of impact from that. However, as you can see that we can still get an idea of what stocks are bullish or bearish, and you'll notice that these signals will really start changing a lot once the markets open. And so that's really the key is once the markets open, these signals will start really moving around, and that gives us a good idea which stocks are primed for a move. So here on the ES futures, if you look at it, it made a very nice move over here. And then somewhere here in this area, we would have gotten out of the trade. And as long as the MTFT remains, this is the master level indicator, which tells you when all of the time frames are aligned. So as long as this master level indicator, is lit up, then you can stay in the trade. Someone is saying I cannot hear anything. Okay, once more, can we do a little sound check here? Okay, so like I was saying, once the MTFT lights up, you can stay in the trade, and also the custom RSI tells you you're in the bullish zone. You can stay in the trade. These signals will start changing a lot once the markets open. So we've got about 4 minutes left for the markets to open. Let me go back to the presentation and just describe the service over here. So this is a live trading at market open every day. It'll start at 9:25. We'll just review all the stocks that are moving in the pre-market, and then it's going to be this kind of a format. It's going to be the webinar format starting at 9:25, and basically the goal of this is to make one decent trade a day. We'll run for about 30 to 45 minutes till we get a good trade. If we can make a few $100s a day, that would be, that would be great. And of course, we are going to use all our proprietary indicators over here, which includes the watch list algo, which tells us which stocks are bullish or bearish. We'll use the SPX ticks, we'll use the MTFT and the custom RSI. And most of the time, we'll try to use long calls or long puts. The problem is some of these options, some of these prices have become too high, and therefore buying a single option may not be very viable. So we will use a debit spread in that case. And very rarely we will go for a credit spread. Obviously we want to keep things simple. That is the goal of the service. We don't want to complicate things. The adjustments will be simple. If we have a long call or a long put and we feel that the trade is not going in our favor, then we will convert it to a debit spread, or we'll convert it to a strangle. If you're unsure which way it's going to go, then we'll convert it to a strangle. So that's it. It's kind of simple. So even if you're somewhat of a beginner, as long as you know a little bit about spreads, and I think that that would be plenty for this. The service will start on Monday, June 2nd. And we have a launch price, which is 50% off, which will be $99 a month. The coupon code is 50 off day, as you can see. And then that's the bit.ly link will take you. We also will take you to that discounted page. There's also an annual package for $997 and 6 months for $557. If you want to use the annual or the 6 months, it's best to PayPal it. Our PayPal email is info@optiontiger.com. And if you do that, then we will set you up with and we'll put you on the 6 months or the annual as it may be. So that's it. It's a very simple presentation, and the service also is going to be fairly simple. So let's get back. I think the markets are just about to open here, and let's see what happens. We've got a couple of stocks that are bullish, couple of stocks that are bearish. In terms of the ES futures, they're down about 5 points. Nasdaq is up a little bit, I believe, but we'll see what happens after the open. I think I lost my Nasdaq here. Okay, Nasdaq is also just up just marginally. So what we'll do is we'll first take a look at what the ES futures are doing, and then we'll see what stocks are moving which way. So the markets are just about to open. So we'll give it a pause here. Let the markets open. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, the ES futures are down about 6 points, 7 points at the open. So no real clear trend over here. And some of the stocks that were showing bullish earlier may have turned bearish. So like I said, once the markets open, you will see this day trades column really jumping around, and stocks are going to be moving from bullish to bearish to neutral. And we just have to eyeball it and see which one you want to go. Now, the one thing that jumps out at me is Coinbase right here. So Coinbase, as you can see, Coinbase is moving really high. So it's up $7. Of course, Coinbase is a Bitcoin play. So if Bitcoin goes up, Coinbase will go up. If Bitcoin goes down, Coinbase will go down. So there's nothing more to it over there. And I think Bitcoin is doing well in these times. So Coinbase, of course, will benefit from that. Coinbase is not a very ideal trading vehicle, to be quite honest. Microsoft looks pretty good, as you can see. It's moved up at the open, but we don't want to take a trade at the open because there's quite a bit of volatility right at the open, and you don't want to take a trade right there. So you want to wait for a few minutes and see which stocks are moving. Shopify seems to be getting into the bullish zone. Yeah, Shopify is not bad. It's up about 58 cents, not a whole lot. IBM looks very bearish. Let's see. Yeah, IBM definitely looks bearish. You can see it's going down here. Baidu also looks bearish. Baidu also looks bearish. You can see at the open it has moved down. Let's see some of these bullish stocks over here. Shopify, we know we saw. What about PayPal? PayPal also moving up at the open, not a whole lot, just about 18, 20 cents. And Tesla also seems bullish, although there's not a whole lot of change. There's just it's down about 48 cents or so. But Tesla is moving higher, and this might not be a bad option to trade, but it's still too early. It's only 2 minutes into the open, so you want to give it a little bit more time and just make sure. And also we have to look at what the overall markets are doing. So in terms of the ES futures, now you can see that the ES futures have turned slightly positive. It is just about 75, 50, 75 cents, but that's important because if the overall market moves higher or lower, you're going to see most of these stocks correlate to that, and so that will also give us some indication as to what direction of the trade we want to take. So let's just see. Now ES has gone negative again. So that's the problem. Today is, it's a volatile day, and you don't want to risk jumping into a trade too quickly when you don't have a good idea of the trend. So let's just watch this, and I'll put the recording on pause. Let's just watch this and come back. So the only one that kind of stands out was Microsoft, up about $2, and Coinbase, of course, up $10. But once again, it's just too early over here to decide, especially with the ES futures moving. Now the ES futures have moved a little bit more lower. It's gone down to 13 points. So it's important, as you can see, and you get an alert also that ES futures are moving down. So, and because that's going to have a bearing on various stocks here. So let's just watch this. So as you can see on Microsoft here, the MTFT is again turning into bullish. So Microsoft is the only one that's looking somewhat consistent after the markets have opened, and we can perhaps take a trade here on Microsoft. If we were actually doing it, we would take a trade, and how we would take a trade is, we would go in, not the one that's firing tomorrow. That's too soon. Although your option prices are going to be very cheap, and so it'll be a fairly inexpensive kind of trade. So it's at 456, as you can see over here. It's moving higher, and it's up about $3.90. The problem is ES futures are still down. ES futures down about 10 points. So let's see how, if we were to take a trade, we would probably have taken the Microsoft trade over here when it was up about $2, and the charts showed that it's moving higher right there. So, if you could have picked up the trade when we saw the first of the master indicators right there, and that would be the time to take the trade. And if we had taken the trade there, you can see that I think it was about $2.40, and now it's moved up to between 287 and $3. So if you have a 10 contract position, that's $400 right there. So that's basically what what we'll do. We'll pick small opportunities. We'll keep the risks low, and also we need to have some kind of a plan if the trade goes against us. So in this case, it's simple. We either turn it into a debit spread, or if the trend has completely changed, we can go on the other side and buy a put. Although if we were doing that with 1 day left, you're going to see a lot of time decay. So that may not be a very good strategy, but at least you can turn it into a debit spread, or you can turn it into a credit spread if the trend has changed completely. So that's basically how we would approach the trading aspect of this. So that's really what it is. And so you can see the option is still about $2 between 286 and 293. Microsoft is up about $4. So that would have been the trade for today if we had taken it. So it's a very simple service. It is we can we'll have to keep it simple. That is the key, because day trading is difficult, and especially if we want to pick the opportunity properly. Obviously, we have these indicators, which is going to help us a lot. And Microsoft would have been a good trade over here for today. You can see now it's moving even higher. It's up about $4.60. So we'll keep things simple. Now, if you have questions, please do type it into the chat box. But it's a very simple presentation. It's a simple service. The goal is we want to make at least a few $100s a day, and have a successful trade. The important thing is consistency, because obviously on certain days we might have a losing trade. But if out of 5 days in a week, if you can capture 4 days of a good trade, and you have one loss, and keep in mind, we'll have to keep the losing trade also in control, and that's fine. We'll adjust it, and we'll do what is required. But this is the exit strategy is simple. That's a good question. Could you discuss the exit strategy, please? So exit strategy is simple. So here, right here, Microsoft, this would have been an exit right there. As you can see now, if you go see the option prices here, it has dropped down, and that's the thing with going in for one day. The moment the trend changes, you're going to see option prices crash. Just a couple of minutes ago, it was around $2.80. We would have got in around this level, say $2.40 or $2.45. But so which is why I don't like to go for the one day. We'll probably go for the 8 days. That way you won't see that much degradation in in the option price, even if it turns around. But this would be the exit signal right there. You can see that we have a red dot here, but we don't need to wait for the bar to get over. If you can see that it's turning down, and most importantly, you can see that the ES futures are still negative. It's not a whole lot negative, but it's still down about 10 points. So which means that will have some kind of a tempering effect on all the stocks. So you want to catch the trend, you want to catch it nicely, and you also want to exit. So that would be the exit strategy. Okay. Would it be good to check the news why Microsoft is bullish before we commit? I think that would be a little bit of an overkill. Charts don't lie. So whatever the reason might be, and you might be doing research and doing. I mean, ours is a very simple trade. We are probably going to be in the trade for 5-10 minutes. If the trend lasts, of course, we can be in longer. But in general, day trading trends are not going to persist for so long. They'll come and they'll go. They'll come and they'll go. So that's how we have to look at the day trading service, and the day, and in general in day trading. So the service costs $99 a month. If we can recover, if we can cover up, make up that $200-300, $400 a day, that would be a very good return on your investment. It'll be very good extra income that we can put in, and that's the goal. We want to be able to do that. All right. If you could give us some conceptual idea of how your indicator fires alerts. Oh, these are proprietary indicators. So I have developed these indicators. I mean, I'm not a developer, but I've had a developer develop them. And so what the MTFT does is it's a multi-time frame trend, and you can see the configurations here. So I'll just quickly show you where these configurations are. And if you do edit studies, you can see the multi-time frame over here. And so if you click this gearbox, you can see the settings. So you can the chart is set to a 1 minute chart, and therefore that is the lowest time frame. And so all the time frames has to be higher than that. So the next higher time frame, I've put it as 3 minutes. The one after that is 5 minutes. The one after that is 10 minutes, and one after that is 15 minutes. So what this does is, when the 1 minute is bullish, you'll see a green. When it's bearish, you'll see a red. But the next level is the 3 minutes, and the next level is the 5 minutes. Next level is 10, and then you have the 15. So if you have 4 or 5 time frames aligning, that gives you so much more confidence in your trade. And what even gives you added confidence is this custom RSI. So the custom RSI, you probably know the regular RSI. The regular RSI just tells you oversold and overbought, and it usually reverts to the mean. Whereas the custom RSI is different. Yeah, we've customized it so that if it's bullish, it'll stay in the bullish zone, and if it's bearish, it'll stay in the bearish zone. So this will be kind of persistent. So once it gets into the bullish zone, it's likely to stay there for a longer time, and therefore you can plan your trade, your entry as well as your exit accordingly. Now this works for all time frames, by the way. All of these work for all time frames. Let me see if I have something else set. Yeah, let me go to a 1 year chart, and on 1 year as well, you can see that all of these are all these work. But of course, now for the 1 year, the configuration, because this is a daily chart right here, so the configuration will be 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and a week. So that's how the configurations are done, and that's how the indicators also work. Okay. Could you say something about position size? Should it depend on your account size? Absolutely, absolutely. So, in general, what I would do is, let's say if you are doing Microsoft, what I would do, depending on the option price. See, some of these prices are are too high. So, depending on the option price, let's say we picked Microsoft right here. If my default is, it defaults to 5 contracts. So 5 contracts at a price of 570 is about approximately 2,600 or $2,700. So that would be the price of the trade. Now, if it is smaller than that, because JP Morgan and Google and Amazon, after getting splits, Nvidia and all these stocks, after getting splits, the option prices have come down. So in that case, we can go for 10 contracts right here. So depending on what the option price is, that's really what dictates it. Now, for example, Netflix, I'll fix all the tickers and everything. But if you see Netflix, for example, Netflix, the stock is at 1189, and therefore even an at the money option is going to be very expensive, $21. So if you buy 5 contracts, that's $10,000 into that. So in a case like Netflix, we wouldn't do a single option. We would do a spread. We would do a debit spread. We'll have to figure all that out. Of course, you can reduce the contracts. You can just say take 2 contracts, and if you do 2 contracts, that will be about $4,400 at this price. So that's how we look at position size. And but of course, it all depends on your account. I'm talking on average somewhere between a 25 and a $50,000 account. You would get in with either 5 contracts or 10 contracts, and if it's a debit spread, you can even do about 10 contracts. But ultimately, it does depend on your own account size. We'll see what's happening. Let's see. Microsoft is still bullish, so that would have been a good trade today. Microsoft would have been a good trade, and we might have come out, and then seeing this again, you could have gone back in somewhere over here. You could have gone back in, made another couple of hundred, whatever, depending on your account size. So this would have been the trade for today, because you want something that's consistent and not jumping around all over the place. So you would just cycle through. There's no point in looking at all these neutral stocks. So right away, it takes those stocks out of the picture. If it's a bearish day, which it generally is, because the ES futures are down still about 10 points, but Microsoft was very bullish coming into the open. And then you have bearish stocks, which are Costco and Qualcomm right here. So Qualcomm down about $2. You can see, yes, it is down about $2. But I don't know if we would have gone for Qualcomm. I think Microsoft would have been a better trade. Made $30 on one option at 4. Okay, nice. Daily, how is the communication done on open and close, or will we have yeah? So this will be a live meeting. This will be a live meeting, just like this, and we'll run through. If you get a good trade, that's it. Because what you want to do is keep the performance consistent. So you get a good trade, that's it, move on. And if there is an opportunity, you can take another trade. But in general, the session will run for about 30 to 45 minutes, I would say, because within that time, we should be able to find a good trade. How many simultaneous trades? Only one at one time, because it's hard enough to, in a day trading environment, it's hard enough to manage one. And, unless you're sitting there on the computer all the time and all of that. And, obviously, we can't do that with this kind of a service. So we'll go for one trade. We'll go for one trade, and hopefully we'll make it work nicely, and that's it, and then move on. What will be the time for the meeting? Yeah, we'll start around 9:25. Today, I wanted to start a little earlier because wanted to give a description of the service, and it will run till 10 a.m. So, talking about that, I think many people have entered late. So, let me just go back to the presentation and just recap over here. Of course, you'll all get the webinar recording. So, basically, it'll start at 9:25 a.m. Eastern Time. Will run for about 30 to 45 minutes. The goal is to make a few $100. If you can get $300-400 on a daily basis and keep it consistent, that is the key. Then it'll be a worthwhile service. We use proprietary algos and indicators. As you can see, the watch list algo gives us a filter of the good candidates, SPX ticks, the MTFT, as well as the custom RSI. So most of the time we'll take long calls or long puts, but sometimes, as I said, if it's a option like Netflix, we will have to go in for debit spread. Very rarely we may go in for a credit spread also. Uh, the adjustments are simple. If we go in for a long call and if it's not going in our favor, we'll convert it to a debit spread or a strangle. That's it. And if it's still not going against it, then you just have to close the trade and move on. Um, this service will start on Monday, June 2nd, 2025. So the launch price is 50% off the list price, which is $99 per month. The coupon code is 50 off day, but I've given you this Bitly link over here. This Bitly link already has the coupon code embedded in it, and so you just have to type in this Bitly link and you can go. So let me show you where we have that. So here on the Option Tiger website, you can go to the proprietary day trading signals. And I've still to make this page okay. You can see some swing trading videos and all over there. I've still to make this okay. But what we are going to do is I'll show you let me show you this link over here. So I'll copy this link, and let's go to a new and just paste that. So if you just type in that Bitly link, you should get the 50% off right here. And that's where you sign up. And if you want the annual or the 6 months, then you will just use our PayPal email address, which is info@optiontiger.com. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always email us at info@optiontiger.com. What do you usually consider a good return on a trade? Yeah, I would say 10% at least. If we were to go in for this Microsoft trade, for example, and I think when we looked at the option price, but that was in the front week. If you looked at the option price, it was 2.4. So if we had closed it at 2.8, which it reached over there, that would have been about a 20% return, which is very good. And even a 10% return, I would say, is good, because these trends will not last very long. So that's the key. And then you don't want to feel sorry that you didn't take the opportunity to book that profit. So I would say, yeah, 10% is good. Anything more than that is really good, and you should book the profits there. So that's as far as the profit return percentages. And if we can get about 10%, that is very good. Let's go back to the charts and see Microsoft. See, as you can see, now it's the trend is changing a little bit over here. ES futures are flat, but Microsoft made a nice move. And that's the thing with trading this at the open, because many stocks jump at the open, and that's when you want to catch this opportunity here. Do you use implied volatility in Greeks? No, this is day trading. Greeks will not make any difference. Implied volatility, of course, when the volatility is very high, you have to bear that in mind. Right now, as you can see, VIX is at 20. So 20 is not too high, not too low. It's been lower, it's been much higher actually also. So 20 is in the medium range. Volatility and Greeks don't change when you're looking at an intraday basis. They don't change that much at all. And especially when you're doing close to expiry, we might not do the 1 day to expiry, but even if the 8 day to expiry, what becomes really important, the Greek is gamma, and that you can see by the move. If you're getting a move, then the gamma is going to push the delta, and that's what drives the profit there. So Microsoft would have been good, but yeah, as you can see, it's running out of steam, or maybe not. It's just trying to make another move up, but its high was around 458. So that's really the hurdle to cross there. No, okay. That's a very good question. You always prefer at the money? No, I don't prefer at the money. Actually, to tell you the truth, I would probably go in for something that's about 40 delta. See, when your 40 delta option moves towards 50 delta, which is at the money, that's when your gamma power is really high. So, and if your 40 delta moves to a 50 or a 55 delta, then you can expect about a 10 to 15% return on that trade right away. So I don't prefer. I was just giving an example, but I don't prefer at the money options, because at the money you're paying a lot of intrinsic value, and you really don't want to do that. And more importantly, it's not just the intrinsic value; it's also the gamma factor. So right now, at the money, if when at the money moves into in the money, the gamma power reduces. So you don't want that. You want gamma in your favor, because that's what drives the delta. That's what drives the option price. And so I would say about a 40 delta. And when that becomes a 50 or a 50, 50 delta, that is when it's a good time to take off the trade. How long is the coupon code? As I said, oh yeah, no problem, Marianne. The coupon code will be valid. As I said, the service starts only on June 2nd, so if you want to sign up now, you can sign up. We'll throw in an extra week because it's only the 22nd. We'll throw in an extra week for you, but go ahead and sign up. That way, I'll have a good idea of how many people are signing up and all of that. So please do sign up, but it'll start. It'll start on Monday, June 2nd. That's when the service starts. So you'll get a recording of this in case you came late, and if you if you missed some part of it, you can look at the recording. What is your normal rate of success? As I told you, I had it about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and it was quite good. I mean, 75% hit rate, and it's not just the hit rate. If you keep your if you keep your risk management tight, then even if you have a losing trade, you try not to lose too much on it. But if every now and then you'll get a nice trade, and that'll make up for one or two losers right there. So it's been pretty good. And I do run a swing trading signal service, which is consistently been doing over 100% ROI every year. But that's not a live environment. That is, we do one trade a day. There is adjustments involved, and that also goes by video to everybody. And so we do that. It's not real time. Day trading, of course, has to be real time. That's the only way it will work. So that's as far as that. Do you use the custom RSI to refine trade selection? No. Custom RSI only tells you when to stay in the trade. So, if you got into the trade at the beginning, somewhere, I think we said somewhere here, after about 5 minutes after the open, and custom RSI is in the bullish zone. And if custom RSI is dropping off, you can you can come out of it. Or if you see a big red bar right there, that time also you can come. See, you can always get back into a trade, but you don't want to feel sorry that you didn't take the profits when you had it. So with day trading, you have to be nimble, you have to be quick, and you have to cash in the profits. That's important, and wait for the next trend. Like I said here, it had to cross 458, and look, Microsoft. That's exactly what it's doing now. It's crossing 458, and that's and also look at the ES. The ES futures now moving higher. When the ES futures moves higher, that will take a lot of stocks with it. You can see Tesla right now. Tesla was up about 80 cents or so. Now it's up about $4. So it's important to look at the ES, which ES futures, which we will look at. We'll also look at the Nasdaq futures. A lot of these stocks are Nasdaq stocks, so we'll definitely be looking at both of them. But it's important to see where the index is going, because that will drive a lot of the movement within individual stocks. Okay. Any further questions, guys? Good questions, everybody. Sure. Thank you, Paul. So, if you have further questions, you can always email us, info at optiontiger.com. We'll be sending out a recording of this webinar, and you'll also receive some follow up emails. And so, do take a note of that. The service will start on Monday, June 2nd. All right, folks. Thanks for coming. Thanks for attending the webinar. I will stop this recording now, and we'll see you if you have any questions. Info at optiontiger.com. Thanks.